Hello and welcome back to this new edition of News Today. Without delay, let's explore the headlines first. As per economic survey, FDI from China could boost India's exports. RBI revises non-performing assets provision norms for cooperative banks. Cabinet approved 8 national high-speed road corridor projects. The era of directed energy weapons is here. As per ASCI report, 52 out of 53 top Indian apps use dark patterns to deceive users. NITI Aayog publishes a report titled Strategy for the Development of Seaweed Value Chain. In our first news, let's discuss the economic survey for 2023-24 and its insights on foreign direct investment from China. Let's explore how this could boost India's exports and the concept of the China Plus One strategy. The economic survey suggests that FDI from China could be a strategic move for India. But what is the China Plus One strategy? It's a practice where international businesses that are active in China also invest in another Asian country. The strategy has gained traction due to several factors, such as disruptions from China's zero-COVID policy, growing tensions between the US and China, and the rising labor costs in China. Now, who benefits from this strategy? Countries like Mexico, Vietnam, Taiwan, and Korea have already reaped rewards from the US trade diversion away from China. India stands at a crossroad to capitalize this strategy too. How? By either integrating into China's supply chain or by encouraging Chinese FDI. The latter seems more promising because given India's growing trade deficit with China, it's more effective for Chinese companies to invest in India for export rather than India importing Chinese goods for re-export with minimal added value. Interestingly, many current beneficiaries of this strategy have also increased their FDI inflow from China. However, there are some concerns associated with Chinese FDI in India. First, there is the ongoing border dispute with military tensions and China's regional supremacy exertion. Second, security risks are a concern as Chinese FDI could lead to espionage. China's national intelligence law mandates cooperation with national intelligence efforts, which raises red flags. Lastly, China's support for Pakistan adds another layer of complexity. Now let's talk about India-China economic relations. China is India's top import partner, with bilateral trade reaching $118.4 billion in financial year 24. But here's a challenge. India faces a trade deficit of around $85 billion. Despite this, China's FDI in India was only about 0.37% of the total FDI inflow between April 2000 and March 2024. To address this trade deficit, India has launched initiatives like the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme, anti-dumping duties, and quality control orders. In conclusion, while FDI from China could be a powerful boost for India's exports, it comes with its set of challenges.
In a significant move, the Reserve Bank of India has revised the provisioning norms for non-performing assets for cooperative banks. The new guidelines address a critical issue where some banks were not recognizing the required provisions for NPAs as an expense, leading to discrepancies in financial reporting. These changes aim to bring uniformity in the treatment of the Bad and Doubtful Debt Reserve or BDDR across urban, state and central cooperative banks. Several cooperative banks established BDDR for financial stability for managing bad loans. Under the new norms, all provisions related to BDDR or any category as specified under Income Recognition, Asset Classification and Provisioning or IRACP norms must now be charged as an expense to the profit and loss account. Only after accounting for all provisions as per IRACP norms and other regulations can cooperative banks appropriate net profits to BDDR. Cooperative banks which operate on the principle of cooperation and are owned and managed by their members play a crucial role in the financial sector. They can broadly be categorized into rural and urban cooperative banks. However, these institutions face several challenges including regional disparities with a significant concentration of urban cooperative banks in the western and southern regions. Other issues are of dual regulation, as managerial, administrative activities are overseen by state governments while banking activities are regulated and supervised by RBI or NABARD. Lastly, inadequate avenues for raising capital, high gross NPAs also poses issues. The RBI and the government have taken steps to address these issues, including the enactment of the Banking Regulation Amendment Act 2020, which brought management, governance, and winding up of cooperative banks under RBI's purview. Additionally, the establishment of the National Federation of Urban Cooperative Banks and Credit Societies Limited serves as an umbrella organization for UCBs, aiming to strengthen and streamline their operations. In summary, these new norms by the RBI mark a crucial step towards ensuring transparency and consistency in financial reporting for cooperative banks.
In our next news, we are going to dive into the exciting development of India's infrastructure with the Cabinet's approval of 8 national high-speed road corridor projects. These projects cover a total length of 936 kilometers and come with a capital cost of Rs 50,655 crore. They will be carried out using different public-private partnership models such as build-operate-transfer, hybrid annuity model, and engineering, procurement and construction. Let's first look at the bigger picture of highway development in India. With a corridor-based approach, the government has identified 50,000 kilometers of high-speed highway corridors using GSTN and toll data. Over the last decade, from 2014 to 2024, the length of national highways has increased 1.6 times from 0.91 lakh kilometers to 1.46 lakh kilometers. At the same time, the total capital investment in national highways has risen dramatically from Rs 50,000 crore to Rs 3.1 lakh crore. Now let's explore the benefits of corridor-based highways. One of the key advantages is improved logistic efficiency. For instance, the Agra-Gwalior corridor will reduce the distance between these cities by 7% and cut travel time by half. This will enhance freight movement and make it easier to do business in India. High-speed corridors also boost tourism. The Tharad-Ahmedabad corridor will provide better connectivity to major tourist attractions in Rajasthan like Mehrangarh Fort and Dilwara Temple, as well as Gujarat with sites like Rani Ki Vav and Ambaji Temple. In addition to these advantages, there are broader economic benefits. For every rupee spent on infrastructure, GDP can increase by 2.5 to 3 times. The 8 approved projects are expected to create about 4.42 crore man-days of direct and indirect employment. In conclusion, these high-speed road corridors are not just about building roads, they are about connecting people, boosting the economy and enhancing the quality of life. Ahead, let's dive into the world of directed energy weapons or DEWs, where science fiction meets reality. In recent years, India has made significant investments in this cutting-edge field, marking a new era in defense technology. Let's explore what DEWs are and their potential impact. DEWs are advanced weapons that use concentrated energy, such as electromagnetic or particle technology, to degrade or destroy targets rather than rely on traditional kinetic energy. They come in various types, each with unique characteristics and applications. First, we have high-energy lasers, which use highly concentrated light to destroy targets. However, their effectiveness can be adversely affected by atmospheric conditions like rain or fog. Next, there is high-power microwaves, which emit high-frequency electromagnetic waves to damage electronic systems and incapacitate personnel. Millimeter waves use wavelengths between 1 and 10 millimeters, making them ideal for non-lethal military applications such as crowd control. Finally, particle beam weapons utilize accelerated particles such as protons or electrons to inflict damage. Now let's dive into the applications of DEWs. In military defense, DEWs can intercept and destroy incoming missiles, neutralize drones, disable enemy electronics, offering a strategic advantage on the battlefield. For law enforcement and border security, non-lethal DEWs like microwaves or lasers can be used for effective ground control and securing borders. In space operations, DEWs protect satellites from debris and anti-satellite weapons, ensuring the safety of critical assets. The advantages of DEWs are numerous. They complement conventional weapons by firing energy at the speed of light, making them faster and potentially less costly. DEWs also reduce logistical demands by eliminating the need for physical ammunition. Other benefits include precision, stealth, and increased destructive capabilities. However, challenges exist. DEWs are less effective over longer distances, and wider beam DEWs such as high-power microwaves or millimeter wave weapons can affect all assets, whether friend or foe. Additionally, there is uncertainty about the long-term health effects of DEWs on people. India has taken significant steps by advancing DEW technology. The Directionally Unrestricted Ray Gun Array or Durga 2 project, initiated by DRDO, aims to build a 100 kilowatt lightweight DEW. Bharat Electronics Limited has developed a 2 kilowatt directed energy weapon system to counter new threats like drones. The Laser Science and Technology Center, a DRDO laboratory, is dedicated to developing new direct energy weapons. In conclusion, the era of directed energy weapons holds immense potential for revolutionizing defense technology.
In a startling revelation, a recent report by the Advertising Standards Council of India titled Conscious Patterns, has found that 52 out of 53 top Indian apps use deceptive tactics known as dark patterns to manipulate users. These dark patterns are business practices that exploit elements of digital design to impair consumer autonomy, decision-making, and choice. Users often suffer financial losses, data breaches, and compromised privacy. To combat these issues, ASCI, in collaboration with the Department of Consumer Affairs, issued guidelines in 2023 aimed at preventing and regulating deceptive patterns in digital platforms. The ASCI study highlights several key dark patterns commonly used by apps. Privacy deception involves manipulating users into sharing more personal data than they intended, such as granting unnecessary permissions for location tracking. Interface interference refers to hiding certain parts of a platform to mislead users into specific actions like unlocking cashback offers. Drip pricing gradually reveals additional fees, making the final price higher than initially quoted. False urgency creates a sense of artificial scarcity, such as stating that only a few seats are available. Lastly, confirm shaming uses guilt or social pressure to coerce users into confirming an action, like choosing between an upgrade now or rejecting a smarter software option. In response to these findings, the ASCI has launched the Conscious Pattern website. This platform aims to guide digital product makers in building ethically sound and digitally conscious products, promoting informed consumer choices online. In summary, the widespread use of dark patterns by Indian apps underscores the need for stricter regulations and greater awareness. Ahead, let's dive into the fascinating world of Seaweed and its potential to transform various sectors in India. The NITI Aayog has published an insightful report titled Strategy for the Development of Seaweed Value Chain, which sheds light on the incredible possibilities and challenges of seaweed farming. Let's explore this together. To begin with, what are seaweeds? Seaweeds are diverse types of marine plants and macroalgae that thrive in rivers, lakes, and other bodies of water. They're not just a part of our oceans, but an essential component of aquaculture. The fishing and aquaculture sector contributes 1.5% to India's GDP. That's a significant figure, showing how important this sector is to our economy. Now, let's talk about the significance of seaweed farming. Economically, seaweed are valuable for their bioactive compounds, with applications in food, pharmaceuticals, and more. Environmentally, they play a crucial role in carbon sequestration and contribute to climate resilience. On the nutritional front, seaweed provides essential minerals and vitamins like A, B1, and B12, making them a vital part of a healthy diet. However, like any industry, seaweed farming faces challenges. There's a lack of a comprehensive policy framework and availability of quality seeds. Ecological concerns also arise, such as the impact of exotic species on biodiversity and coral reefs. So what can be done to promote seaweed farming? The report suggests several recommendations, starting with regulatory and governance reforms, such as forming a national steering committee and prioritizing sector lending for seaweed. Social security and financial support, like providing crop insurance and mobilizing farmers through self-help groups, are crucial. Infrastructure and institutions, such as seed banks, processing centers, and marketing centers, need to be established to support this growing industry. India is already taking steps to boost seaweed farming. The PM Matsya Sampada Yojana aims for 1 million tons of seaweed production per year by 2025. An expert committee chaired by Dr. V.K. Saraswat from NITI Aayog has been constituted to review the draft policy on the development of the seaweed value chain in India. Additionally, offshore cultivation in the Andaman region has been initiated by the National Institute of Ocean Technology Atal Center for Ocean Science and Technology for Islands. A GIS-based portal has been developed to view mapped seaweed cultivation sites, providing a technological edge to this endeavor. In summary, seaweed farming holds immense promise for India, offering economic, environmental, and nutritional benefits. In today's Personality in News, we will discuss Pingali Venkayya. Prime Minister recently paid tributes to Pingali Venkayya on his birth anniversary. Born in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, he was a freedom fighter who believed in Gandhian principles. In terms of his key contributions, he designed Indian national flag on request of Mahatma Gandhi. He served as a soldier in the British Army in South Africa during the Anglo-Boer War in Africa. He participated in different movements including Swadeshi Andolan under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. His literary works include Bharata Deshniki Oka Jatiya Pattakam. He earned several titles including Patti Venkayya and Jhanda Venkayya. He displayed values of courage, nationalism, patriotism, and more.
As we wrap up today's main news, let's take a moment for some quick updates. The Ministry of Health asked the Sports Authority of India and BCCI to prevent surrogate advertisement of tobacco or alcohol by sportspersons. Surrogate advertising involves advertising a product that cannot be advertised openly due to legal restrictions. Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition or GAIN launched a report titled The Case for Investment in Nutritious Foods Value Chains, an Opportunity for Gender Impact. GAIN is a Swiss-based non-governmental organization launched at the United Nations in 2002 to tackle the human suffering caused by malnutrition. The WTO issued World Trade Statistics 2023. The top 5 exporters were European Union, US, Brazil, China, and Canada. Collectively, the top 10 exporters represented a 71.9% share of the world exports in 2023. India was the 8th largest exporter. Second sovereign green bond auction of the current financial year received low response as traders refused to pay greenium. Greenium refers to pricing benefits based on logic that investors are willing to pay extra or accept lower yields for sustainable impact. Recently, a new species of loach fish has been found in 3 caves of Meghalaya's South Garo Hills district. Loach fish are small elongated freshwater fishes of the family Cobitidae and are native to Central and Southern Asia. New FASTag rules to link it with the vehicle registration and mobile number came into effect from August 1, 2024. FASTag is the device that employs radio frequency identification technology for making toll payments directly while the vehicle is in the motion. India selected Shubhanshu Shukla and Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, both group captains in the Indian Air Force, for the Axiom 4 mission. They will train in the US, and experience gained during the mission will be beneficial for the human space program. Axiom Mission 4 is the 4th private astronaut mission of NASA and a private US company, Axiom Space. Recently, Indian naval ship Tabar participated in a maritime partnership exercise between India and Russia. Before we conclude today's bulletin, let's test your knowledge in our segment Test Your Learning. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this edition of News Today. For the quiz solutions and to download the PDF version of News Today, please visit the links provided in the description below.